Grand Rising, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom, at the same Boko, Aborigani. Buenos dias. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Uh, my name is Robert Frost Jr., and I am coming to you today speaking from my book, Ether, Robert Frost. I'll be speaking to you from my book, Ether, Robert Frost, about a poem that I entitled called Dear America. Before we delve into the readings of this poem, I would like you to first hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell. So whensoever I post one of my readings or for any events that's taking place on Vibe Star Media 75, you will be notified. Before we begin in these readings, please, everyone, hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and turn on or hit the notification bell icon so you will be notified and made aware uh, when I come to you with one of my readings or with any other events uh, that I might be partaking in, excuse me, or participating in. And as I indicated, I'll be reading to you from my book, Ether, Robert Frost. And the title of this poem is called Dear America. Uh, I get started reading this poem. Uh, it's very historic event took place. President John Dramani Mahama went before the UN and got over 120 vote acknowledging that slavery is and was the greatest crime ever committed against humanity. Uh, Three countries refused or refused to vote, and these countries are America, Israel, and Argentina. About 52 countries abstained from casting a vote. Uh, this is huge, no matter how people may try to downplay it. This is very huge and is a historic moment in time. The poem, Dear America, when I wrote it, I was thinking about some of the injustices that I've had to encounter and endure as a black man, as an African, Afro-Boolean, taken, kidnapped, bartered, sold into slavery, into chattel slavery. My ancestors sold, kidnapped, bartered, transported uh, from across the Atlantic Ocean into the Americas and to the Caribbeans, the Virgin Islands, and scattered all over the world. So this poem uh, touches on some of the experiences that my ancestors had to encounter and what I encountered. And I will begin reading from page 94 of my book, Ether, Robert Frost, page 94. And if you have the book, please join along with me. And the title again is called Dear America. Dear America, my encounter with you is bitter sweet, seduced by trinkets some of our ancestors bartered the precious souls so that they might eat. Lessons we should all learn from, but most of us, though, won't let it resonate in our eardrums. Should have wrote this poem in capital letters because we really love capitalizing off of the misfortunes of one another. But you called me your brother. You talk about a God who you have never seen, but show enmity to your brothers and sisters who you see every day. Dear America, the cancer that eats at your fabric will not cure until you make amends to African Americans in the form of reparations. Uh, when we look at the atrocity of slavery and all of its egregious components, I certainly can relate to the nations of the world with incurring or concurring that slavery imposed upon Africans, the descendants of Africans, is and was the greatest crime ever committed uh, in the world. And there are several reasons why this is the gravest crime ever committed against humanity. One particular reason is because all of humanity sprang forth from Akabulians or Africans. The oldest fossil ever found in the world was found in South Africa. They later named the fossil or the bones or the skeletons, they later named it Lucy. Lucy is the oldest uh, known skeletal remains of any humanoid found in the world. But getting back to my point uh, in regards to my poem, Dear America, my experience with America has been, as I indicated in the poem, a bittersweet experience. I've experienced good things in America, but I've also experienced horrific things in America. And some of the good things I will name about uh, being an American citizen, being an African who happens to be an American citizen. Uh, our medical facilities are the best in the world as far as opportunity, there are limitless opportunities to be found in America. When it comes to education, America leads the way in the world of academics. When it comes to our military, our military is second to none. But when it gets down or comes down to our social fabric, there are many tears in the garment. We look very united and together on the surface. But when you look at the infrastructure, the political infrastructure of America, and this is where the power is, you see there is a great problem. First of all, let's look at the symbol of the house of power in America. The house of power in America is located in Washington, D.C. And they call that the White House. When you look at uh, the history of the presidents, there has been only, as far as I know, two black presidents in America to have lived in the White House. The majority or the remaining of those who have occupied the White House has been so-called white men or Caucasian men. When you look at the Senate and its overall makeup, there is a huge gap as to those who own or has power in the Senate. We only have a handful of senators uh, of African American descent, descent in the White House. We are drastically underrepresented. Most of the senators in the White House are of Caucasian descent. When you look at Congress, Congress is predominantly ruled by white people. This is not by chance or mistake. This is well thought out, and it has been well thought out for hundreds of years. So when you look at the political arena, we see that African Americans are underrepresented in the Senate. When you look at the states, African Americans are underrepresented because we only have a handful of governors of each state. So This is the bitter part of living uh, in a country that says it is united. As I said about the sweet part, you know, uh, deals, uh, as from my experience, uh, have deal with half measures. You know, half measures as to the experience that African Americans have encountered while here in America. You know, back in the day, it was said that African Americans should receive 40 acres and a meal uh, to help them repatriate or restart their life over again. The Senate then turned around and rejected this proposal and abolished it. That which was meant to help the black man have equal footing to everyone else that was in this country was stripped away from him or her. So they was basically telling the black man that he should stand up on his own feet without providing him or her with any boots. Reparations should be given, and it must be, and it will be given to the African Americans in this country, to the Africans in Africa, because this was a grave injustice. It took us away from our lineage. It took us away from our religion. It took us away from our culture. You took us away from our identity. You took us away from our names. These type of atrocities or aggressions has left a psychological marking on the psyche of black men and women. It has left a psychological marking on their psyche, which reduces them to what we call an inferiority complex. The black man has began and does still second guess their authority. They always must look to white people for direction, look to white people for guidance, look to white people's opinions over their own. This is a psychological uh, illness, and it will take time to reverse uh, the damages done. For they had over 400 years to do the work that they did. So, some of our ancestors were involved with the scheme. When there were slave raids uh, back in the day, or how can I say, war and factions, tribal war against each other, uh, the victor would take the people they conquered and sold them as chattel, sold them as slaves. When they were selling our ancestors, of course, the buyers would make all type of promises that they would treat them well, that they wouldn't maltreat them. Uh, but of course, we know uh, through experience and reality that this was a bargain just to achieve a means, just to be able to achieve their objective. So our ancestors, the chiefs, the kings, they played a part uh, in this atrocious act. And it would seem that we would have learned uh, from uh, what was done to our ancestors. It would seem that we would have learned by now, in 2026, how to love, treat each other, how to respect each other. But it doesn't. Looking at the reality of looking at the reality of it, we haven't learned much because black on black crime is still at an all-time high. We still kill each other at an all-time high. The divorce rate between African men and women are still high. All of our revolutionaries have been targeted. Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, Assadifo. Thomas Sankara, Ibrahim Traore, which he hasn't been assassinated, all praise be to God, but there have been numerous attempts to unalive him. Here recently, it is reported that uh, President John Dramani Mahama signed a deal uh, with a foreign power for equipment, drones, spy technology. And here it is, President Ibrahim Traore is removing the military bases of colonizers. He has been uh, fervently fighting day and night to expel the terrorists from their borders. He has been fighting day and night to unify Africa. Sometimes I come to believe that many of us really love being in bondage. Many of us really love slavery. we've come to enjoy it. Because if we didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't be making the moves that we make. We wouldn't be doing some of the things that we're doing. Some of our people, or people in the world in general, love to capitalize on the sufferings of other people. When they see their brother or sister in a compromised position, rather than assisting them and helping them to get out of the situation, coming up with problem-solving solutions, they seek to undermine them. They seek to emasculate, make the situation that much worse. We seem to have a problem with assisting and helping each other to grow and to blossom. This is where that self-hatred comes in at. This is where that Willie Lynch doctrine comes into full play. We would rather see each other down than up. May the Supreme Creator help us to overcome these things. But America has a long history of racism, and some of our prominent leaders, they're assassinated. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. And if they didn't assassinate them, they targeted them. Mosiah Garvey, Marcus Garvey, Khalid Muhammad. All of these great warriors were either targeted or assassinated. Why? Because they were just trying to unify their people. They were trying to remove the shackles of slavery off of their people. And because they dared to stand up and fight against oppression, they were considered to be a national threat, a threat that had to be eliminated by any means. It is difficult fighting an enemy on one hand and having to fight your brother, person that you're supposed to be your brother and sister, with the other. That's a tough battle. But this is the battle many of our leaders find themselves having to fight. Brothers and sisters, I would encourage all of us to come together on one mind when it comes to reparation. This is something that we are entitled to. We are due this. Don't say you're not do this. Don't say you're not entitled to what is yours. This is yours, and the universe will deliver this to you, whether you want it or not. The universe will deliver reparations to you. Iseee 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 YAGAZI. It will be delivered to you. What you do with your reparations after you receive it, that's completely your choice. Don't take your money and squander it away. Don't take your money and buy fancy cars and jewelry and do unnecessary stuff with your money. Learn to be disciplined with your money. And my brothers and sisters in Al Land in Africa, unite. I don't want to put any of you on Front Street, but I will just say unite. Stop fighting against each other. Stop hating on each other. We have become so disillusioned that we really do think that Africa supposed to have borders, supposed to be separated. When Africa was one continent, was one thing, was and is one continent, one thing. And we have certain self-serving leaders who wish to continue to reinforce the illusion of borders or separations. Why? Because they do not wish to relinquish power. They put their self-serving agenda over the betterment of the masses, of the people. The only thing I can say is when you catch a snake, you know what to do with the snake. That's the only thing I can say. Because uh, whether we want to or not, it comes a time in your life where you have to choose sides. It comes a time in your life wherein a person has to choose sides. So I would encourage our brothers and sisters to work together. Stop bickering, backbiting, and hating on each other. We have suffered enough. Now it's time to come together and reap the rewards the Supreme Creator have for us. I hope this reading has touched someone in a special way. And if you haven't gone out and purchased my book, Ether, Robert Frost, uh, you can find it at some locations. You can find it Amazon, you can find it at Target, you can find it in Walmart. There are many places that you can find it. Go and get you a copy of it and read this poem, Dear America. Until next time, may God bless all of you. And don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon. So once I make posts on YouTube, you will be notified. Until next time, thank you very much and be blessed.